Congratulations to you. Welcome to another section of the file upload. As you can see, I've already given some boiler code of all what we needed here on the file upload. So if you check out, I created a model for the file upload, and this is the model for the file upload. Pretty simple, like every other one that you would think of. So all we need from the file is just a file name, and we have to link it also up with the collection of users so that we can know the person that is what logged in, right? So that is what we are doing. And boom, we export just the way we've been doing before now. So I'm dealing with guys that are more mature now. So I don't have to go through all the process all over again. So it's just a repetition of what we've been doing. So let's go to the file controller. So in the file controller, I've also written some codes here. So as usual, I'm going to require the file model, just I've been doing. And then I need to require two things, which is called this and this, which is file fx. File fs is built in Node. And if you remember in our elementary vanilla JavaScript class, we talked about the file system, which is file system. So we can use it to upload, to delete files, and the rest of them. And also here we have what is called Mortar. Mortar is just an npm package that is going to help us to actually load that. So for now, I'll come back to all this later. But let me look at all the controllers that I create, the simple controller. So I created a controller, a post controller called uploads, right? And this is the boilerplate of the code. Very simple. What we actually want to get is the name, then the user who is logged in, and boom, we are good to go. That's all we want to get. And let me explain this to you, how the file upload works. The file upload works this way. When you're trying to upload a file, it is not the file that is being stored in the database. You don't store the file in the database. Rather, it is the name of the file that is being stored in the database. And the file itself will be stored in a big folder. So what we do anytime we want to access the database is that anytime we want to delete something from the database, or we want to upload something, this is what happens. If you want to delete, for example, you're going to query your database and ask for a certain file name. Now, if you go to your database and look for that file name, fish it out, then go to compare that file name with the files that you have in your folder. Once it's able to locate that, it will then delete it. That is how it works. It is not the file itself that is stored in there. So what we just need is just a file name, and boom, we are good to go. So all these are very simple stuff that you can do. Then this is just to read all files. You want to get all the files that are there. To read all files, we can read all files. Then you can also decide to read a file. Well, I'm not doing that. You can add that to your own controller. Is that okay? To read all files, very simple. Just the way we'll be doing, we just find all, and boom, we are good to go as well. And here also is to actually delete. This is not the first time that you've been doing delete. We've been doing it several times. So you just delete, get the ID of the file and delete the file name. You're actually deleting the file name, as I said before now, right? You delete the file name, and also we delete the file. But I'm going to come in here and work on each of these controllers. So that is just the boilerplate of each controller. Now that now leads me to this first two that I neglected earlier. Okay, this first one, I think I've talked about it. That is a file system, which allows you to be able to manipulate file. Now, there is an npm package called Mortar that actually makes life easy. So Mortar, you have to install it, npm install Mortar. That is just the way to do it. You install npm install Mortar. I just installed Mortar now. Okay, so how is Mortar used? So you can go to npm and check it out. Now, some of these things, this is not the only file upload system that we have. We have so many of them. We have Formidable. We have so many of them. So this is just one of them. So you can choose the one that you want and the one that actually suits what you want to do. And trust me, some of these things change. You have to always read the documentation, because what you're seeing now might not be the same no, in some years later. So let's look at it. So how do we use it? Very simple. Now you see what you're seeing here is a form, right? That's like our clients from our front end. You know, those names that we normally create are like this. When we say name equal to advertiser, when we create a JSON, a kind of a JSON stuff, that's what this is also, right? So if you want to get this feed now, that means the name of this feed now, the name of this is what advertiser. That's what we're getting here. Okay. So if you want to identify with that, that is what we use to identify. Now, all you need to do is just to require. Very simple. You require it. Then the simple thing again to do again is just to create uh, this method. Yeah. So there is what we call the mortar method. Mortar, then you put your square bracket. Then in this inside, we have some properties. So that properties, what is that property? That property, we have a property called dist, DST, which means destination. And the value of the property is this. Now, this value means the folder that you want that file to be saved. Is that okay? The folder that you want the files that you are uploading to be saved. So you can create the folder. See, I went down to the directory here, to my root directory, and I created a folder called uploads, right? So this is what we're talking about, the destination. So whatever you call this, you can call this all my folder. You can call this my my upload, or whatever you want to call it. You are fine with it. So you come in here and create what is called my upload, because what you're actually creating there is a folder, right? So what I created here was uploads. So you come here and change the name of this folder. Is a folder. Change the name of the folder to my uploads. So whatever name that you want to use is up to you, and you are free to use anything you want. So you can see this name must tally with this, right? So I just created that. So this is the destination, and we save all that in a variable called what? Uploads, right? Now, why am I doing module.export? I'm exporting it because I'll be using it in other files. I'm not using it everything here. So I just do module.export to be able to export that. So I'll take you back to the documentation. So if you get to the documentation, you move a little bit downward to the documentation. Where am I? Where am I? Okay, you move down to see how it is being used in the route. This is a route created, the route with the controller. They didn't separate the route and the controller. So this is the controller, right? This is their own controller, right? So, and this is the route. Can you see that? So this is what we had separate. We had this one separate in another file. So we have to add this to it before the controller start running. It's called this. So this is what I was exporting, that same stuff that was created earlier that we said export is equal to the destination. So when we want to make use of it, we just say upload dot what single, then is a method, and it's taking one parameter. So the parameter that is taking, its name is what? Avatar. So just note that, as I said before now, the name we are getting from the form, the name of the image that we're getting from the form is what we call the avatar. That's what's like this one. This could be anything. It could be my file, it could be my upload, it could, any name you want to give it to. So that is what you can use to what? Access. So that is what we are adding. So we're just going to our stuff and we're just adding this to it, upload, right? So you can see why I exported that, because my route is in a different location. So my route is not here, is in a different location. So I have to export it. So I have to go to that stuff and say upload, then I require a certain file. So I'm going to require that certain file, which is called the uploads, then I bring it here. Okay, so I'm going to now paste that here on my route. So I've already created the route, very simple route. So the first route is this one, right? The upload route, right? And I placed that here. I've already copied and pasted it here. So I can change this name to any name that I want. I can change it to photo, right? Depending on what I'm getting from the front end. So I can call this photo. And here we go on the photo. Okay, quickly. So we have this now. We have photo, and then we have the upload files that runs that controller. So it's available in here. Okay. So that is what we've done so far. No big deal. Just like what we've been doing before now. Okay, I quickly have to upload, I quickly have to take this out because there's no need for this. I was actually uploading, trying to import this folder. That's very wrong. This is actually located that upload that I created is located in the file that we're actually dealing with. So there is no need for that. So I think I have to save this now. Save this, and there's no need for that. Let me quickly explain that to you. This is it. I'm uploading this thing, right? Upload, and I export it to make it available. Then if you remember, we exported all the file that we have in here. So this is called the file controller. So if you check out the routes, we have exported the file controller already. So the file controller, that's where you also have the upload. So there's no need doing that. That's a schoolboy error. So let's quickly move on. So here we go. We already have it here. So I've used this, and I use dot single. So you might be wondering why using single. You can also use multiple data. You can be able to, upload multiple data at the same time. But I want to make use of the single. So you can read the documentation for that, of how to go about uploading multiple data. So I think that will be all for now. There is nothing much. We're just going to be testing this in the next video. Bye for now.